It has been nothing but fun and games rebuilding this crashed Audi R8 that I found at the salvage yard. Fun and games getting the car off of the truck.
Don't roll backwards, the bumper's gonna hit. It's gonna hit.
And into my garage.
Something broke over there.
Fun and games figuring out why the car wouldn't start.
I figured it out. It's this fuse. That's why our car won't start.
And that there was frame damage.
This is a frame cross member. Here's what the holes should look like. These holes have frame damage.
Fun and games resolving the exploded airbag issue.
I'm thinking the easiest way is to just get rid of this brown seat. Now it's swapped with a red seat.
It was fun and games updating the interior of the Audi R8 with a beautiful carbon and Alcantara steering wheel. Although I probably shouldn't be spending $1,000 on an unnecessary steering wheel when the car still looks like this. I think I've had enough fun and games for a while. Let's put this car back together. If there's a box inside of this garage, odds are there's Audi R8 parts inside of it. Parts are scattered everywhere because I've been collecting them for months. Now it's time to make sure all of these parts fit. If you don't first ensure the fitment, you'll paint the parts and then destroy them, trying to make them fit later. So what I'm hoping for is that in one of these boxes up here, I'll find my lower quarter panel. Aha, would you look at this? Dear future Ed, this is the lower quarter panel. Love, Ed, from last month. See that? I was thinking about myself. That was so kind of me to be thinking about me. I ended up buying a bunch of these parts from a seller in Alberta, Canada. I'll tell you why in a second. Better yet, I'll just show you. I ended up buying a bunch of parts from the same seller because he was parting out a silver Audi R8. That's beneficial for the obvious reason. I wouldn't have to paint it. I don't mind painting, but it's one less piece, and that looks like a good match as well. Before I can install the lower quarter panel, I have to remove this broken rocker mount that I broke, what, 2 videos ago now? This is another one of those pieces I bought and then tucked away. I think it's way back here behind these wheel well liners. Oh, it's way back there. One of my motivations to have a bigger workspace isn't to fit more cars. It's just to have a place to put the parts and to fit more cars. This should be it back here. Some of the parts I buy are new, other parts I buy are used, so I'm eager to see what this is. Used. New to me. It's in nice condition though. Why is it so small? Oh no. This is only half of what I need. This was my broken rocker panel molding bracket. This is the new one that I bought. The new one's actually longer than the old one because the old one's broken. What I didn't realize, there's another piece to it. So once again, we're ordering parts and waiting around. Just found one on eBay for $24, so that's on its way. Fortunately, there are so many other places to work on this car, like the rear bumper, the quarter panel, or even the front bumper, while we wait on that bracket to arrive.
There's also an errand we need to run for the Bentley Continental. After I rebuild a car, I love the dealer to see the car to get an inspection prior to sale. The problem is there are no Bentley dealers in Pennsylvania, so we need to cross the bridge into New Jersey to find our closest Bentley dealer to see if they can give us a hand. We're actually here at the Bentley dealer. I'm here to talk to somebody about an alignment.
Hey guys, I'm wondering if I can talk to somebody about service for Bentley.
Yeah, I can help you.
Oh, cool. Hey, I was looking for an alignment for a Bentley, and I just don't know.
What year in Bentley?
2009 Continental.
What year?
2009.
Okay. Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to work on the car here.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, anything more than 10 years of age.
Damn.
Yeah, what happened was after COVID, you know, now that these cars are a little more affordable, a lot of people are buying them on the internet,
Yeah.
and they're getting them shipped up to them. A lot of people are buying them on the internet,
Yeah.
and they're getting them shipped up to them, buying them on the internet, and they're like, you know, not what they're being displayed as.
Well, thanks for your help.
Oh, absolutely, sure thing.
I'm at the Bentley dealer. They won't work on my car because it's too old. I thought I was cool with a Bentley, but apparently I'm not cool enough. It's not new enough. You know, there is one more thing I want to show you before we get out of here.
You know that part in the movie where something really small happens, but then it ends up playing a big role later in the movie, like some sort of hint as to what's gonna happen next?
I like to give subtle hints without making it blatantly obvious. Now we can leave. So how about that? They won't inspect or align my Bentley because it's too old. Poor old girl deserves better. We'll just have to find somebody else to take our money. How you doing?
Not bad, yourself.
All right, sir. Sorry, I gave you a handful. I didn't know how much it cost.
It's $4.
That worked out.
Yep, have a good day.
See ya.
See you later.
You know, you have to laugh. The guys who just mounted the tires on this Bentley offered to align the car. I respectfully declined, thinking that the Bentley dealer was gonna do it for me. So the bad news is Bentley is not going to perform the 75,000 mile service on our car. The good news is while we were out, our broken replacement bracket was delivered, as were more parts from Lisi Parts in Maryland.
The rocker bracket came so quick because this car is being dismantled about 20 minutes from here. This will get installed momentarily, but it's the part from Lisi Parts that's a bit more interesting. I hate to make this reference, but have you ever seen someone get hit by a car, like on the internet? Not like get killed or something, just get hit by a car. You ever notice that sometimes when that happens, their shoes go flying? Well, if your car gets hit hard enough, sometimes it's not the shoes that go flying, but it's your rear view mirror. Well, don't forget, this car got hit pretty freaking hard. The mirror going in is not gonna get our car back on the road, although it was a nice addition. But what's inside of this box will allow us to continue to assemble our car. This is either our rocker panel bracket, or it's a 14-inch teriyaki sub from Subway. Damn, I was getting kind of hungry.
Reassembly of the left side of the Audi R8 is comprised of about 10 different pieces. Some of the pieces are large and snap right into place. Other pieces are much smaller and are held onto the car with screws. It's some of the larger pieces that are much more exciting to install, especially pieces that have been sitting in the garage for a month in the box that they came in, meaning I haven't even inspected them.
Twice now in this build, I've been able to find parts that I need that end up coming in the same color as our car. This is one of them.
It's about 50 degrees in Pennsylvania right now at its warmest, which is not ideal for painting. So if we can find a couple of parts that are already painted for our R8, it will limit the painting that I have to do. I do enjoy painting, but I have quite the list of parts that are going to need paint. So for now, we'll relish in installing some parts on this R8 that won't need anything more than a few bolts.
Do your best at avoiding looking at the Lamborghini wheels. I realize they're horrific, but just pay close attention to what I'm doing. Quarter panel's going on, that's a big deal. A real big deal. The whole purpose of me doing this work right now is for panel alignment. So reinstalling the carbon side blade will be a great test because the carbon side blade has to perfectly align with 3 different panels. So I'm relieved to finally say it. Our panels fit perfectly.
Dude, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll come over and grab them as soon as I can.
All right, no problem. We'll see you when you get here.
Thanks, Rich.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Just got off the phone with the tire guys. Our powder-coated wheels and tires are ready for pickup. Wheels and tires are pretty heavy, so today we're gonna travel as a team. And the reality is, without my team, I wouldn't be able to do half the things that I do on this channel. I feel like I should be thanking you more often than I do for tolerating the rebuilds that I do in the garage, and more specifically, for driving me to pick up these wheels and tires.
Thought we were going to Home Goods.
So we rock out to our favorite songs, take a beautiful drive through the Pennsylvania weather, and catch up with the only mechanic shop so far that in this build has been willing to help us, our buddies at the tire shop. Any guesses on what color we went with? You guys are fast.
Well, you had the boss man do it.
Oh, is that why?
The boss.
I got the hookup.
I've been on TV before.
Really? What kind of TV?
ECW.
I don't know what that is.
I'm an original bleacher bum.
Oh, really? Cool, so the tires got mounted? Oh, they look good.
Canary yellow, everything else is black and...
Get autograph.
Easy.
Anywhere on the bottom of that one. I don't need it.
All right, time to load up. I might sound like a hypocrite, but I decided to commit to white wheels.
I realize I spend a good deal of each video talking about how much I dislike the white Lamborghini wheels that are on the R8. So why would I get white wheels again? But trust the process. I haven't even told you what color the car is gonna be. Thank you. Hope you don't mind a break in the vlog. Gotta keep our promises. The color of your wheels are a complement of the color of the car. And if I commit to a wheel color and then later decide to change the color of the car, which may happen, the wheels would then have to change color as well. But the one color that goes with everything is bright white. If I were painting this car red, I would have done bronze wheels. If I were painting the car yellow, I would have done silver wheels. If I were painting the car blue, I would have done black wheels. And if I would have painted this car green, I'd do chrome wheels. Without giving too much away, my car will be none of those colors, sort of. Which is why our car had to have white wheels, but not Lamborghini white wheels, Audi R8 white wheels. One part of this project that has seen no attention is the front bumper. I didn't even unwrap it. And that's because there are 2 holes in the bumper. I just assumed the bumper to be unfixable. That's why I bought this one right here. That's a brand new factory bumper. Fixing and painting the small area of damage on this bumper might be more cost effective than prepping and painting an entire bumper. Doesn't really matter if we're fixing it or replacing it. This stage in the build, the bumper has to come off. Interesting side note, by far, the easiest bumper removal of any car I've ever worked on. The more I see the damage up close to this bumper, I become more interested in this one, because it's gotta look better than this. It feels so dangerous to be doing anything next to these white wheels. If the level of detail in the packaging is any indicator of what's inside, then we should have a nice bumper on our hands because they went all out with the packaging material. Okay, yeah, I see what's going on here. This is a brand new OEM bumper. So we're gonna use this. Even our damaged bumper still had good body lines, so I'm not expecting any fitment issues at all. This is more about just crossing our I's and dotting our T's. And as expected, the front bumper fits perfectly. This is also a fantastic time to make sure that our new wheels fit. I know it seems a little weird to think that powder coating would change the fitment, but powder coating does add material to the wheel in the form of the powder itself. So it's nothing but wise to make sure the wheels still fit over the hub. Although I'm a little bit more cautious this time. In a project as expensive and time-consuming as this is, it's always wise to double check. Wow, that looks cool. Now the rear bumper is a different story. This sucker was smashed. I found this white one through Lee C Parts, and it too should fit just fine. And that it does. The most challenging part of this Audi R8 build has been finding and buying the repair parts at the right time. Just when I think I have everything that I need, I discover a new broken part and have to order its replacement and then wait for it to ship. A lot of waiting around. So finally getting the body panels on and seeing the wheels wrapped in new rubber and mounted on the car rekindles the motivation to keep pushing to see this car get back on the road as soon as possible. The panels align perfectly, which means we are safe to move on to removal of the panels so we can sand them down, prime them, and then paint them. This car came to us from the auction as a non-running, non-driving car that was rotting away in the outside salvage yard for 6 months. So although we are far from finished with this car, bolting the body panels together, fitting the final wheels to this car are 2 small victories that remind us of one thing over and over again. We're getting close. Close to completing my toughest build yet. Really close.